Hello everybody, so this is going to be my next installment to my Hermit Crab 101 series, and this is going to be setting up a crabitat. So this is my current setup, and in this video, since I can't really set up another crabitat right now, since I don't really have room, I'm doing my cleaning and I'm putting everything back together while kind of explaining how to set this up. Now, I can't mess with the sand too much in this because I have molting crabs right now, and when they're molting, you really don't want to play around with the sand. You don't want to collapse their molting locations. And so here I'm just cleaning out some shells because occasionally you want to clean out your shells because the crabs are more attracted to them when they're cleaned out. It's like a freshly washed up shell on the beach or something. So I'm taking out my tailor's tape from my very messy sewing area right now. I can't find my hard measuring tape, so this is about 9 inches, and you want it at least 3 times as deep as your largest crab. So lots of sand in your crabitat. And then you'll have your salt water and your freshwater pool. I'm just using bath containers from the bath section at Walmart, but you can use something like Tupperware. Just make sure there's plenty of ways for them to get in and out. And now crabs, they're tree crabs. They like to climb, so you'll want lots of areas for them to climb, lots of areas for them to hide. So I have a lot of these rocks and cholla wood. Oh, and this orange decoration that you see, it's like an orange flowery looking thing. My crabs have hated this thing for years. And they're always like just trying to destroy it. It's hilarious. I'm usually digging it out from somewhere. But yeah, so don't be surprised if your crabs find a decoration that they hate and decide to bury it or pick it apart ferociously. Oh, and here you can see one of my little guys. He's just hiding out down here. Okay, so you'll want your heat mat on the back of the tank. Mine's just up with electrical tape. And I prefer as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I prefer the ones that don't have the adhesive because they're reusable. So I get mine from the bean farm now. So yeah, that's up on the back of this, and this is a 75-gallon tank. And there's my AccuRite. You'll want your hygrometer in there so you can measure your humidity and your temperature. You can't forget your food dish with lots of goodies. And I want to go over this really quickly. I have a tile on top of my sand. Now this is here because, as you can see in this clip, the food, because of the high humidity, it can often get mold, and having this tile here, it just makes it easier to feed them on there without the food getting mixed into their main sandy area, because then you can get mold spreading through your tank, and you just want to be careful of that. So keeping it on this tile just makes it easier to feed them and clean up after them. I can just take the vacuum in and vacuum up, and sometimes dump a little bit of like pink salt on it to just kind of kill off what's there. So I hope that was a decent explanation, but they also like to dig under the tile and just kind of like hide underneath of it. So yeah, that's the purpose of the tile. I just thought I'd explain that. Oh, and here's your cleanup crew. So speaking of the mold, it doesn't hurt to have springtails and isopods in here because they can help clean up after your crabs, eat the mold, eat the poo. So yeah, I have isopods and springtails in my tank. Now, something I forgot to show in this video is I have this little glass that I keep sphagnum moss in. And I think I showed it in one of my previous videos, but I need to get new sphagnum moss, so it's not in the... Well, I might have put it back in, but I don't have the moss in it right now. I need to get fresh moss. Yeah, the thing with moss is sometimes they'll dig it through the sand, and when they go to burrow down, they'll drag the moss through the sand, so you occasionally have to replace that. And here's my air pump. It powers both the air stones to the freshwater and the saltwater pool, and that just makes it easier to keep the water from going too stagnant. I have a little guy down here molting right now. I need to cover this up with some painter's tape because I like to keep the area dark, so I like to cover that up when they molt like right in front of the glass so that they don't get too stressed out. And here's some of my previous setups. This was the one before the one I have now. It's the same tank. And this was a 30-gallon. This was from years ago. So I have the Tupperware pools there with the plastic canvas to get in and out. This was another one from the tank that I have now. I think that was a hemp hammock I made for them. I just thought this picture was cute, so I threw it in here. And one time on this 30-gallon tank, I added a 10-gallon tank to the top of it, and I made it so they could go up in the 10-gallon just to give them a little bit more space. I'd love to do a tank topper on my 75-gallon at some point too, just so they have some more climbing room. You can also add levels with like those kitchen spice racks, and I covered it with a coconut mat and put some decorations on it just so they have another level they can get up on. And you will notice that your crabs might like to all pile, like you want to provide lots of places for them to hide, lots of cover, but you may notice that they'll all pile into one area because they're social creatures, so they pile together a lot. And I thought I'd add this picture just for fun. This was when I woke up in the middle of the night hearing something, and I turned on the light, and well, lo and behold, Reggie was making a great escape. So you'll want to make sure your top to your tank is weighted down so that they're relatively strong, so you'll want to make sure, like I have a glass topper now, and I try to weight it down because I'm just paranoid they're going to find a way to lift it up and get out. So you do want to make sure that your tank is nice and closed off because they're escape artists. So it's just something to keep in mind. Oh, I have other stories of them escaping in the middle of the night too. So basically, you want to have a lot of cover. You want your deep sand. That is very important. Lots of areas for them to climb, but be careful that they can't escape the tank. You'll want your freshwater pole, your saltwater pole, your humidity gauge, and your temperature gauge, your thermometer and everything. You'll want lots of shells. I had a shell shop in one of my previous tanks too. I had a little plastic shower container, and I just put a bunch of shells in there, and I'd see them in there all the time. But right now, I just have them kind of chilling in the tank, so the shells are just kind of thrown in the middle right now. So I would like to get another shell shop set up at some point. And for flowers, a lot of the hobby stores will have these fake flower garlands. I use a lot of them in my tank too. And make sure your poles, going back to the water poles, make sure you have plenty of ways for them to get in and out of the water, because while you want them to be able to submerge completely and they can stay there for a little while, they will drown if they have no way to get out. So make sure you have a way for them to get in and out. And I really hope this video can give you some ideas on how to set up a crab habitat. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment and I will gladly get back to you. So stay tuned for the next video in the Hermit Crab series, and if you found this helpful, feel free to like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in a future video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.